Hey guys, I hope you're doing well this Friday. So we're going to be working on that activity 1.6 and Springboard. Again, to get there, we hit the table of contents. We are in Unit 1 and 1.6. The learning targets are to analyze details and fallacies in an argument and explain how an author builds an argument. So we're going to be reading about communication and analyze the evidence the author uses to support her argument. So this is going to be very similar to what we did in the last piece. So we're going to first start off with unpacking Embedded Assessment 1. You'll be using Embedded Assessment 1 as your next assignment here. I am not going to have it due until maybe next week just because I am out. But I do want you guys to unpack what we're doing to Unit Embedded Assessment 1. So take this time really quick to jump down to where you see Embedded Assessment 1, creating an argument. So you guys are going to be doing an argumentative essay about something that you feel strongly about. I want you guys to actually base this on your project. So that's something you already feel strongly about. So you're going to argue why you should get your project going. Why should people stand up and listen to you? Okay. Make a clear claim. Of course, you've already done research here, so there's a lot we've already done to help you with this persuasive essay. And of course, any kind of genre characteristics, and craft of argument, this is what we're actually learning through Springboard. So we're going to be looking at fallacies today, so this will help you make sure you don't have your fallacies. So take the time to do this part about your claim and your argument and your drafting. This will be just an outline to get you guys started. So go ahead and get this done. And once you've looked through the introduction, we're going to jump back into 1.6. So 1.6, we're talking about evidence and appeals. When presenting arguments, writers use evidence, right? They present evidence such as empirical evidence, logical evidence, and anecdotal. Empirical evidence is what, guys? Yeah, it's based on with numbers because that hence that name, empirical. Okay, logical. Yeah, it's based in logic. It just makes logical sense. And anecdotal. These are the personal stories, right? They're the least reliable because they're based on personal stories, not facts, okay? The rest of them are based on facts. So when presenting support, they use more than just those types of evidence. We also use something called appeals. We have emotional appeals, logic appeals, and ethical appeals. That rings a bell. That's ethos, pathos, logos, right? Ethos is the one that's about ethical. How can we trust this person? What are some things that they say that we can trust them for? Logical are the ones that make sense, right? What kind of logical evidence that they have for us that just makes common sense. And then emotional. These are going to be like the making them feel sad or making them feel happy, those kind of appeals. So as we're reading about Celeste Heady, we're going to be marking the text like we always do, looking for interesting things and her evidence as well. This time around, see if you can identify each type of evidence. I'll let you go ahead and read that. And here's her text. Go ahead and pause the video and read the text, please. We're going to be working on making observations. So what argument is the author making about or talking about? And what are the details that caught your attention? Because there's some stuff that's pretty crazy in there. We're also going to be returning to the text. I want you guys to do numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You guys can do this in pairs. It works for me because I know I'm not there to discuss it with you. So focus on the sentence. We can go ahead and skip that one because I don't really worry about that, okay? But we're going to jump on to to logical fallacies. So go ahead and skip number 6, please. Logical fallacies. Logical fallacies are like one of my favorite things to teach, guys. So sometimes we actually make logical reasonings in our evidence that are not quite true because they're based on some sort of error. It could be maybe we only have a small sample size or other things that make it false. And they're going to give you a couple examples of different fallacies. So first one, hasty generalization. I love this one. I have a teacher friend of mine who refuses to go to the Alamo Draft House, like ever, because he says they're racist. And the reason why he said that is he had a very bad experience the first time he went, and now he assumes they're always like that, right? He's taking one small experience and he is making a generalization about all the experiences he could have there. Either or, this is also known as the black and white. Or the ultimatum one. You're either gonna be with me or you're gonna die. So it's the either or. You're either a dog person or a cat person, right? It oversimplifies something that's really complicated. I mean, our life is not black and white. Okay, so that one is a logical fallacies. Ad populum, this is the popular people, right? So most people disagree with this new law, therefore it's a bad idea. Just because it's popular or unpopular does not mean it is good or bad, right? Just because a lot of people believe in it doesn't mean it's good or bad. So you're making that conclusion based on that. Moral equivalence. Comparisons of minor deeds with major atrocities. So I love the example they give this one. Anyone who harms an animal is worse than Hitler. So think of it as a giant hyperbole, right? We're comparing small things, small minor deeds, and we're throwing them as a big major atrocity. A red herring, you guys do this, come on. My kids do this. But I was really sweet. It's you guys giving a diversion. So you're going to avoid the actual key issues by addressing something else. I love the example they give you. I know I'm late to school, but I did well in my last test. Come on, you guys just do that in class too. Don't pretend. Especially you 7th period, I'm looking at you. So, with a partner, you're going to reread the expert of We Need to Talk and look for these fallacies, okay? What kind of fallacies are you seeing? And what can she change to avoid those problems? Then go ahead and do your check for understanding what other fallacies are commonly used in arguments. So think about it. What other fallacies could be there? And discuss ways in which anecdotal evidence, this is the one where we're telling personal stories, could be example of false or fallish reasoning. Okay. So from there, you don't have to do the explain how, but just go ahead and get all of that up to the check for understanding. And I'll see you guys next time, okay? Have a good day.